What is up, people? Foodies of the Low Country. It is the Indulgent Islander Podcast. Tim Wood at Locron. Nick D. Simone at HHI. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. Little weary today after 30 plus hours of pro wrestling, but I'll rally.
You dove right in.
Dove right in with both feet. I mean, we had a super busy weekend, right? Between Heritage, you and I were both out there Friday. Between the two of us, probably about 27,000 steps.
Yep.
So a lot of steps, which is a good way to prepare for, like I said, 30 plus hours of TV watching. One of my realtor friends, David Gerwell's from Coast by EXP, he said those two are so similar, aren't they? Heritage with the tartan outfits and WrestleMania in Las Vegas, two very similar. I said if nothing else, I'm what was the word that I used? Versatile.
There you go. Diverse. You're
Exactly.
a variety on the plate, a smorgasbord, if you will.
That's it. I like that little avocado guy, by the way, on the intro. We're gonna have to give him a name. Maybe we call him the Guac.
The Guac. Nice.
So, I would have taken the Guac last night. We didn't get the Rock, but I would have taken the Guac.
Well, now, if you on a 1 to 10 scale, what would you give WrestleMania 41?
Somebody that I spoke to said 7.5, and I think that's probably about fair. I think D is too harsh.
Maybe a 9 for Saturday and a 6 for Sunday.
No, I actually liked Sunday better than Saturday. But
did you? Okay.
Yeah, I did. I guess probably because of the main event. That was very, very exciting. But yeah, overall, just it was missing something. So yeah, can't really put my finger on it, but still always fun, but not as fun as other years have been.
And you had
regret not going. I'll put it to you that way.
Okay. And you had an Easter feast?
Oh yeah, always Easter with my family. Stuffed shells, ham, stuffed mushrooms, some broccoli rabe in there. Of course, the pizza game, as we call it, the Easter pie, which was spectacular. One of my mom's best things. Everything my mom makes is great, but the pizza game was spectacular. That's my only leftover that I forgot. So I'm going to have to make it over back to the island at some point this week to grab a couple more slices of the pizza game. But that's the slippery slope, is because you fill up a little bit too much on those appetizers, and then you got an entire table covered with food. It's a tough thing to tackle. You got to pace yourself with these holidays.
No doubt.
How was your?
Excellent. Pretty calm. We do not go overboard for Easter, but had a nice family gathering and watched the end of the Heritage. Was very excited to see Justin Thomas win.
Yeah.
I find
perfect time with the end of the tournament coinciding with everybody kind of being together with their families yesterday. I feel like, right?
Absolutely. And I was following Novak. I was following Andrew Novak a little bit on Friday, and I was very impressed. And I was like, okay, that guy, he went to Wofford. He's got some local chops, and I could get behind that. And then he did everything possible to win it. So it was a great ending.
For sure.
Yeah, I'd probably say in that 2.5 hours, Jake and I saw probably 20 different groups. So we were just walking backwards, basically. Just went from 18 all around. Was hoping Brian Campbell, the Bluffton dude, would finish stronger. He had a great first, second, third round, but he ended a little +3 on Sunday. He ended up -7, but the +3 took him out of about $260,000. So
Oof.
yeah, right. I'm looking at these purses, dude, and I'm just like, I like the idea that the Heritage winner is getting $3.6 million is absolutely insane. It's
It's
insane.
incredible.
I try
Yeah.
to, uh, we obviously have the history with the tournament, but like the uh just the fact that it's become a signature event, try to explain get Jake's mind around that. Just that like yeah, basically the entire Masters field was there minus McIlroy, and I give him a pass. Um, but to see Justin Rose walking around there and see Alberg and Schauffele and just all the Masters dudes, it was very cool, very cool event
Right.
as always. Steve Wilmot,
Absolutely.
I got and his crew. I just cannot give enough props to, and it's always fun to see all of the high schoolers and the middle schoolers doing the standard bearer. Um, we actually ran into a few of them on the bus back, and that's a rite of passage for sure. So it's a great tradition. I can't say a tradition unlike any other. Although I did run into Jim Nance on the course on
Really
Friday. Yeah, he was following Scheffler a little bit. So
interesting.
I gently gave him a little fist pump.
Really. Yes, hello, friends.
Yes, yes. All right. So, uh big week last week with the breweries. We go from uh I won't say unhealthy. I would probably say more caloric filled to a little healthier options this week.
Yeah, we
What's
have to be
your
mindful. We have to be mindful of all different types of appetites. And one of the big,
Absolutely.
big things lately is, you know, healthy food and meal prep and, nutrition is an important thing. And I think that the lesson that we're going to take away from today's list is that there's no shortage of flavor and
Thank you.
variety, even with these other options. It's not like, we're going to be talking about boring food. This is like, these are all businesses that basically take healthy food and take it up a notch to where, you know, you're actually excited to eat it, which is kind of cool.
You stole the words. I was just about to say that. Like healthy eating isn't what it once was. There's flavor. There's a, a lot of mad scientist stuff going on in the healthy world to create a flavor profile that you'd never know. It's not like old school tofu. Like there's legit flavor and a lot of artistry going into the healthy food scene for sure.
Absolutely.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit, but we start with the news and notes brought to you by our friend, just about the only person that I did not see posting about the heritage, Anthony Mascolo. AnthonyandCoHomes.com. Luxury real estate advisor serving Bluffton, Hilton Head, and the Low Country. Part of the Keller Williams Low Country family. 347-739-5984. AnthonyandCoHomes.com. Looking like he could have been out there for Heritage Weekend in his get up right there for sure.
Yes. Anthony was not posting photos from the Heritage, but he did send me a few photos of his pizza game which looked excellent. He and I were actually thinking about, again, I forgot my leftovers, but if I can manage a trip over to Hilton Head, we're going to do a little bit of a swap so that we can taste test his pizza game, his family's pizza game versus mine.
All right, so
Um,
explain for those who don't know, explain the pizza game.
it's basically an Easter pie. So traditionally, you know, a bunch of different meats go into a pie shell with, you know, salami, mozzarella. Like it's going to vary in terms of, which ingredients that they're going to put in there, but it's, flour, eggs, parmesan, and it's basically an indulgent treat at the end of, the Lent fasting. It's like 99% meat and cheese. So it's kind of like a reward for getting through that. It originated in the southern part of Italy, in Naples. They call it Crescia di Pasqua or Torta di Pasqua. Um, Very savory, very heavy. It's almost like an antipasta platter in a pie. Put it to you that way. I wouldn't even call it a quiche because it's just so dense, but really a delicacy as far as a pre-Easter dinner snack.
Very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
yes. So
So,
Anthony, he's we were going back and forth a little about that. I noticed he just posted a price drop on his listing in Hampton Lake. Been dropped to 649,000, 107 Fording Bend. Beautiful property in case anybody is looking for a home. And it's we're headed towards the end of April, so as we said, spring buying season is here. And I also have to give a shout out to his colleagues from Keller Williams of the Low Country. We were able to spend some time with the Dacia Allen team at their party at the Heritage on Friday, which was a very nice time. Really nice
very
spread.
nice.
My brother and my friends had a great time hanging out with that crew. So thank you for the invitation to them.
Very cool. Very cool. I'll be curious to. So, are you guys gonna have like a taste test? Did you both have some leftovers?
Um, so I forgot my pizza game leftovers, but I'm going to try to pick those up at some point this week. I do have a bunch of ham left over, which is always versatile for leftovers and sandwiches and things like that, and a couple of my mother's stuffed shells. So that'll be a dinner this week. We got a lot of stuff going on this week, so I think the leftovers are going to come in handy because my wife and I are going to be like ships passing in the night with all the different things that we got going on.
I know nothing of this. My week is very calm.
Is it?
No, no.
Yeah, you got a short one.
I am. I got a short one in the Low Country, but yeah,
Yes.
I'm headed out international travel on assignment. I'll give you the food scene report from Dublin. All right, so news and notes. We start with a invitation that the two of us got, that we were giddy about. We mentioned on last week's show. Nick went on Wednesday. I went on Thursday morning. We went to Nosh, New York Bagels, which is now in the midst of their soft opening over there at 149 Riverwalk Boulevard in Okatee. And between the two of us, Nick, you and I think we dropped about 200 between the two of us. And between
Is that
I
right?
mean, the food eaten by our collective families. Did Josh get any, or did you just knock it all
She sure
down?
did. She sure did. She thoroughly enjoyed her Lox Smith.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
So yeah, we
definitely.
we we got through a fair amount of the menu. Now, obviously they've got the bagels, and uh, for those who have been longing for that New York bagel taste, you're gonna get it. Um, they're They're basically they're making the bagels in Brooklyn, par baking them, shipping them down here, finishing the cook down here. And so you are getting the real deal. And I can tell you, we tried the everything bagel, the plain, the onion, the French toast, um, and we tried the jalapeno cheddar bagel, which was as delicious as Jen and Michael were advertising for sure. They were saying that that was like the early favorite among the crew. So we gave that a try, and that was delicious. You tore into you tore into the sandwiches.
Oh, for sure. So my brother met me over there on Thursday, and I hit up a little bit of everything. Um, I did grab off the lunch menu. I grabbed an Uncle Leo on a wrap to go, and I actually ate that the following day for lunch, which was really really good. Ham, turkey, Genoa salami, provolone cheese, banana peppers, lettuce, tomato, mayo, and oil and vinegar dressing. But on the day where we spent quite a bit of time talking to Michael and Jen, the owners, and as well as Heather, who's the manager of the store over there. And I wanted to take a little bit of a tour through the breakfast sandwiches. So I went with the OG with a scrambled egg, American cheese. I went with the sausage. Um, you're seeing there is
That
the
was the
locksmith.
locksmith, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one that Jocelyn and I had a half of one of those and then brought a full one home for her. So then you're looking at the OG there with the sausage. I went with pork roll, as we call it in northern New Jersey, Taylor ham on a Kaiser roll. This was a really nice soft roll, a little bit of crispy on the outside, and almost like a sort of like a cornmeal kind of like crispiness on the outside with the little tiny seeds, and then the American cheese. This one had ketchup on it, which they're going to, even though it said at least on the time, they're either going to change the menu so that they take the ketchup off so you can ask for it on there. Or they're just going to give you the option at the register whether or not you want ketchup. I personally am not a big ketchup fan, but honestly, it didn't take away from the sandwich at all. What I loved about this one was the amount of pork roll, the amount of Taylor ham that
Oh
you
yeah,
get
I
on
mean,
it.
look at that. I mean, there's no cheat. There's no cheat.
Yeah,
It's gooey. It's delicious. I mean, the melty cheese. Um, yeah.
there was a lot of attention paid to creating a really good sandwich. Like they messed around with like the amount of meat that they were putting on it, and I think they ultimately landed at like 6 ounces. I think is where Michael said that they landed, and it's just nothing disappoints me more than like a Taylor ham egg and cheese that just has like a couple thin slices of Taylor ham on it, and it's overpowered by the egg and cheese. What really stood out to me out of all these egg sandwiches, because they asked us what our favorites were, the eggy Balboa. I think that's my brother's bacon, egg, and cheese. He went with the OG with bacon. But this eggy Balboa is essentially a cheese steak crossed with an egg sandwich. Scrambled eggs, shaved sirloin, provolone cheese, grilled peppers, onions on and chipotle aioli. They have a
Lunch version
yeah, they have a Yo Adrian with basically the same thing on a
minus the egg.
right, exactly, without the egg. But the thing that people are loving about this place is that you can get, they have white fish, which a lot of people like, smoked whitefish salad. They have lox, real lox. I took home a tub. I think it was like, I don't know if it was a half a pound or a pound container. It was like sort of like not the shit really shallow, but the medium sized tub of the lox spread, and had it over the weekend because I actually had a couple leftover bagels from the Harvest and Bloom, that porch pickup that does the sourdough. And I just threw that in the toaster for a couple of minutes and loaded up with some of that lox cream cheese that I got at Nosh, and it was spectacular. Really, really large chunks of that smoked salmon. Um, I didn't eat all these sandwiches in their entirety, so I ended up actually having a nice breakfast, and I was texting Michael because I was enjoying, basically the other half of my eggy Balboa and the other half of my OG. I just threw them in the toaster oven for like a couple of minutes. Actually, I might have thrown them in the regular oven just to speed things up a little bit. But he said that really 2 days later they held up, and I was like, absolutely, like really just needed a couple of minutes in the oven, and they were spectacular.
Same thing with the other half of my eggy Balboa. Held up
Yes,
real nice. I was really happy with that for sure.
that's when you know
Um,
you got good bagels, in my opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. That when you don't have to worry about getting through. Let's say you buy a baker's dozen, and I mean that's a lot to get through in a day.
Yes.
If it's just two of you, for instance. Um, with two teenagers here, they were gone by noon. But, um,
Hmm.
yeah, I had the Eggy Balboa, I had the OG, I had the bee's knees, which was outstanding, which is scrambled egg, cheddar. I think I put American on it. Applewood smoked bacon, scallion cream cheese, and Mike's hot honey. The honey just added a little like sweetness to it that was just spectacular. It was so good. And he like you said, he asked us both like what were your favorites, and I mean the bee's knees lived up to the name for me. I love the old school sort of, yeah, the bee's knees, I love the old school language. But they're gonna have bialys. um they're gonna have so many options. They've got a Big Joe option that's turkey or pastrami with Swiss cheese, coleslaw, Thousand Island dressing. They've got a cowboy, which is a breaded chicken cutlet, applewood smoked bacon, cheddar cheese, coleslaw, and barbecue sauce. Uh, they got a turkey avocado club with bacon, lettuce, tomato, and chipotle aioli. So many options. We were definitely impressed. Um, if you want to go the Masters route, they've got the pimento sunrise, where you got the scrambled egg, the bacon, and the pimento cheese. Um, it's a laboratory over there. It really is. I was impressed with the options, but at the same time, the um, speed of service and um, the quality of the bagels. I also tried their blueberry muffin, which was delectable. That was one of those things between the blueberry muffin and the black and white cookie. It was like, all right, Debbie, let's get rid of these before Jake sees them. Like, let's not even let him see them. So, um, really, really good stuff. Very impressed.
I was chuckling talking to Michael because there was at least a couple of Seinfeld references while I was there, not just in the Uncle Leo sandwich, um, but there was, like I said, there was just a couple of things that had come up, and the other reference was the chocolate babka. He said, we're gonna have chocolate babka." And he said, "Do you want to try a piece?" And I said, "Absolutely." The black and white cookie was the other reference.
Yep.
Jocelyn enjoyed that over the weekend. I popped it in the fridge when I got home, and she had it over the weekend. She said it was delicious. And the chocolate babka, which if you recall, Elaine had said was the chocolate babka was superior to the cinnamon babka. They had bought the cinnamon babka that had a hair in it, if you recall. But I had a
Yes.
piece of that babka the next morning for breakfast. Oh my goodness, it was awesome! I can't wait to have
Nice.
to try more of that. And I'm intrigued by that bee's knees because I'm a Mike's Hot Honey fan. I want to try that pastrami oh my with the grilled pastrami, Swiss and mustard. I'm not the biggest mustard guy, but I'll take his word for it. And yeah, I'm excited to sort of explore my way around there. They got Nightingale ice cream sandwiches, which is a nice treat. And again, you can really get a lot of this stuff to go, whether it's chicken salad, whitefish salad, egg salad, tuna salad,
Baked potato
potato salad,
salad.
coleslaw, yeah, the Nova salmon. They got Savannah coffee roasters. The buzz spread pretty quickly. As a matter of fact, this content that I shared Thursday afternoon, from Thursday into Friday through the weekend, just absolutely exploded. I'm getting like
Yep.
notification after notification. So people were pumped about this, and some people even jumped the gun. They didn't realize it wasn't open to the public yet. And I know you said Friday that we're getting bombarded a little bit. So I mean, it's a good problem to have, but it seemed like they handled it with flying colors, and they're open permanently as we speak. I know this is probably going to air, on a Tuesday or Wednesday, but the opening day was Monday, April 21st, with their soft opening as they call it, but fully operational essentially. So let's see how things go this week. But our first experience couldn't have been any better than it was.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very impressed. Um, so other than that, what else we got for news and notes? Saw that Lot 9 Brewing Company is, by the way, let's see here. I did want to put one note up there on Nosh. 149 Riverwalk Boulevard in Okatee, Nosh, New York bagels. So that is that's the address, down 170, not too far down 170, but down 170 a little bit, and right there in the front of Riverwalk. Some nice patio seating outside for when the weather's nicer. Um, Plenty of parking over on that side of the plaza. So check them out for sure. Uh, w- we give them a thumbs up. All right, so we mentioned Lot 9 Brewing Company over on Red Cedar Street in Bluffton. They after Cinco de Mayo, they are going to now be open. The tap room is going to be open Mondays, which for fans of Lot 9, that is big news. That is that was your one um dry day, so to speak, but no more. No more. The folks have asked, they have answered. 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., just like the Tuesday through Friday schedule. 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Mondays now, after Cinco de Mayo. And then one more note, Casablanca cuisine, Mediterranean cuisine, big favorite on the island, Nick. They are readying to open on in Berkeley Place, over off of Buckwalter Parkway near the movie theater. Actually, right in the old spot where Cheeseburger was, where Primetime Grill was. They've done a full renovation, and they are prepping to open. They have not put anything official on the website as of our taping, but they said to some folks last week online that they are shooting for this week.
Yeah, I might have to take a look Thursday. I'm going to try to catch a sneak preview of that Accountant 2. And I was thinking about grabbing something afterwards for dinner. So I might have to check that out this week.
We finally got some movies that seem interesting.
They're on the
I
way, right?
Yeah, The Amateur looked interesting to me. The Rami Malek uh, thriller. Um, The Accountant 2. I mean, I was already in, and then you add in John Barenthal. Come on now, like, hello. It looks fantastic.
I love
Actually,
the first one.
what'd you say?
I love the first one.
Yeah, it was very original concept, and you know, Ben Affleck is neurodivergent wasn't too distracting. He did it well, and now you add in the Punisher, and and the for Walking Dead fans, for the Bear fans. God, Barenthal's had a good few years here, um, and now The Accountant too. That should be really good. I'm jealous. Uh, wonder if that's gonna. I wonder when that if that's opening in Ireland at the same time. Maybe I'll sneak in.
Take
I heard
advantage
really
of
good
some
things about
downtime.
Sinners too. So you got like a bunch of options at the movie theaters for once. So um very intriguing, and now you've got Casablanca Mediterranean cuisine coming over there. So we will definitely check them out and give you the report. Um the other thing that I just wanted to throw out there was you know, y'all kind of were amused by us giving Nick his flowers for his AI artwork. And so Nick's been busy. Nick has been busy. Nick is refining his artwork. You saw this in the opener. Oh, actually no, you didn't see this one. This was the where's Tim's glasses take, which which I was amused with. Couple of old school dudes like Chris Wunsch chimed in and was like, "What? What do you mean? Where's Tim's glasses?" Well, there was one take without the glasses, and then there was one take with the glasses.
Yeah, you have to basically you have to reward people, with some, you have to give people credit for as they say, watching the product.
Yeah, for
So if you
playing the
pay
Where's Waldo
attention,
game. Yeah, the
exactly.
I
If you pay
Spy.
attention,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. There's always some continuity in the storylines, if you will.
So and then from there, I was I think you and I both went to the gym and got our full workouts in because then we headed to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I look badass there a little bit. You definitely look badass with the belt. The quarter zip crusher, the indulgent one. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. I wore the blue quarter just in in homage to your WrestleMania poster. Loved it.
That's it. You got to live the gimmick. I was
That
feeling
was
my WrestleMania. I was in my WrestleMania feels last week, so I just decided to do a little crossover
well done. Well done. Very well played. And I didn't put it up here, but you did a full card too, which was great.
of all
And
the
then
breweries and tap rooms. Yes.
yeah, yeah, which was outstanding. And then I loved this one. That was great. Uh Getting in Juno and Ronan into the mix with the Easter ears, the bunny ears.
Yeah,
Ronan on
Juno
the
has
lap
one
still?
year. Yeah, he's sitting right here. He's asleep right here on the desk in front of me. Juno has one ear that kind of stays down. So they did the wrong ear, but still worked out pretty well. And I like how they flopped the bunny ear along with it. She's always got one that kind of hangs down to the side. So this one came out pretty nice, and that's an actual thing that happens where Ronan will walk off of the little table in the kitchen nook and just be like standing on Juno's back, and she's just completely unfazed.
For real? Do you have photos? Is that how you're able to do it? Did you have a photo to go off of?
No, I mean I had photos of them individually, but I haven't been able to catch him in the act of Juno back riding. So
That's
I'll have to be a little bit more
fantastic.
diligent in the future. Yeah,
So
it
listen,
doesn't
if
last
you
long because of the balance, but he tries.
you know, DM Nick if you need AI artwork done. He's becoming a master at it comparatively. I'm or just check out his Facebook. I have to imagine there's more coming because
I refuse to pay for the pay plan, so the only thing that's
you
restricting me
just get
from
one a day.
further creativity is I'll do a couple of revisions and then it'll turn me off for 24 hours. So I'm trying to mix them in as best I can. I was trying to have it do me one with me as what the heck was it? There was something that I was trying to do to combine the whole wrestling and Easter holiday. So I didn't have a chance to do it, but I think I sent you one that gave me a good chuckle.
I was right on the verge of buying the package, and I stopped myself, but it's probably gonna happen. Now let's just be honest. I'm kind of a tech whore, so
It's a can of worms, right?
yeah, it's probably gonna happen at some point in the next
Right.
couple weeks. I'm probably gonna buy the package. All right, so that's it for news and notes this week. Again, brought to you by Anthony Mascolo, Anthony and cohomes.com. Uh, Before we get into the list this week, let's talk a little bit about AMA. Let's talk a little bit about our friend Antonio Mancini Albano, top-rated personalized chef services serving Beaufort County, Savannah, Charleston, and the surrounding areas. Book Antonio now at amaprivatedining.com or call or text him at 908-477-6043 to check on availability. He's definitely, as he said in our interviews, he's booking a little bit out at this point, but still trying to keep some avails for the food service, the home meal prep to go services, and um, a lot happening in the AMA world over the next couple months.
Yes, for sure. I tried to get excuse me, I tried to get him on the phone last week to talk about a couple of things, and he was just really kind of in the middle of the buzzsaw. So he said once he gets through these next 10 days, is going to free up a little bit. He just had a lot of stuff happening at once. One of which is, and he's doing a lot of cool stuff. Like the other day, he posted how to, actually just today, how to cook how to make the best crispy potatoes. Um, he has a really cool Instagram live event that's coming up a week from today, Monday, April. We're recording this on Monday the 21st. So Monday, the April 28th to be exact, at 12 o'clock p.m., they are going to do a barbecue recipe tips and more. So essentially, they're going to do an Instagram live and show you how to post the perfect barbecue. So check that out. It's a collaboration with AMA Private Dining and Cassandra's Kitchen here in the Promenade in Bluffton. Really interesting, cool stuff that he does like that. He posted last week how he did cooking zucchini and summer squash with the olio licorice olive oil, and that wonderful couple, that I met at that May River dinner several weeks ago. So follow him at AMA Private Dining, all one word, on Instagram, and of course his Facebook page to see what he's got coming up.
Very cool. Very cool. And then we also want to give a shout out. Got to update the graphic, but we want to give a shout out to Lulu Kitchen Restaurant and Bar. Your next favorite dining destination, upscale American cuisine helmed by acclaimed chef Scott Hastings and his wife Jennifer. The spring menu has sprung. We've sampled quite a bit of it. For menus and to reserve online, go to lulukitchen-hhi.com. They are a open table diner's choice for 2024. I would feel safe in saying that they're headed towards a diner's choice for 2025. Don't want to jinx anything, but I feel fairly confident in saying that. 890 William Hilton Parkway, Suite 1 in the Fresh Markets Plaza. What are we calling that plaza now? Still Fresh Market Plaza,
Yeah,
maybe?
I think
Yeah.
it's Fresh Market Shops.
Yep. 843-648-5858. Wonderful time of year to be dining out on the patio, which they are renovating and updating. So good times to be had out there, Lulu Kitchen.
Still hiring for those of you who are looking for an opportunity as a server, runner, bartender. Go check them out on Facebook, Instagram, of course, their website, which is Lulu Kitchen HHI.com.
What is what is the what is the window on soft shell crab season?
I'm pretty sure it's closing.
We're getting there, right? I know
Yeah.
I just saw that Slider Bar did a soft shell. They brought back their soft shell sandwich that they started with because they launched right around this time. When they first opened. So, but I kind of felt like, yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. But man, you want to try some Lulu Kitchens, one of those spots that's gonna do them up right. That's for dang sure.
Absolutely.
All right, sir. It is time to get into the meat and potatoes, so to speak, of the broadcast, the list of the week. This week we are talking about healthy food options. Um, what what distinguished some of these spots on your list?
So, I mean, full disclosure, these are not, I've been to pretty much every one of these at some point in time. It's not a frequent visit, I guess you would say, in my rotation. Um, I think I have a pretty strong diet in terms of trying to maintain, a healthy, regular diet. Believe it or not, some people would find that hard to believe based on the content that I share. But there are plenty of times in between all of these indulgent meals, if you will, that, are meals of convenience, meals on the go. Sometimes you're just, especially after a weekend like this, I mean, Easter Sunday with an Italian family borders on gluttony. Somehow the dessert menu seems to increase in size every year. So when you get through a weekend like this of indulgence, you want to, or if you're just one of those health nuts that spends a lot of time in the gym and focusing on your diet and nutrition, I wanted to choose a handful of spots that do a really good job with this stuff and you know as equally importantly, not just with their menu and the things that they prepare and the creativity that they put into what they're offering, a lot of them, pretty much all of them for the most part, do a really good job of marketing themselves on social media and, constantly staying in front of their existing customers and potential customers with some really colorful, nutritious menu options, whether it's for breakfast, lunch. We even have a couple that are dinner options here. So I thought that this was to be an important category to hit as we wind down season one, which has essentially been a category or two per episode. And these are the ones that stood out to me as really doing the best job, like I said, both with their offerings and with their promotion and marketing.
Very nice. Very nice. And yeah, there's a strong I was gonna say a healthy variety, but yeah, there's a strong variety of choices, and that's another thing that strikes me for sure is just the amount of options that continue to pop up here, which is outstanding, and it just seems like everybody keeps pushing the envelope further and further, which is foodies are the ultimate winner there for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. They're doing a good job of getting in front of people with all these creative things and giving people ideas, whether it's for meal prep because they don't want to deal with that stuff, they're too busy during the week, or whether they're just trying to sort of hone in on a particular regimen to stay healthy.
So where do you want to start here?
I think we should start with, in my opinion, when you're thinking about healthy options, there's one that is going to be mentioned, you know, chapter and verse forwards and backwards on any list, which is Healthy Habit down on the south end of Hilton Head in the plaza where the Harris Teeter is, and Relish and Char Bar and what's the Holy Tequila. I'm sorry.
Yep. Yep.
So it's kind of in that little nook there, right around the corner from right sort of behind Holy Tequila. And Andrea and Nick Burgelt have done an amazing job creating not just a store, not just a restaurant, but really sort of an entire institution, for lack of a better term, of people, like I said, that are looking for a healthy lifestyle, that are looking to have meal prep. They do acai bowls, salads, wraps, pot bowls, breakfast, iced beverages,
Gluten-free donut
smoothies.
bites for breakfast.
I mean, that's incredible. And then the juices round out their suite of products. I stopped there one day because I had a meeting at the Realtor Association or a presentation, and I stopped there to get something for the road. And I'm pretty sure it was the early bird bagel with baked egg, bacon, spinach, red pepper, pepper jack cheese on everything bagel. And this bagel sandwich was as good as any bagel sandwich. We just spent a whole time talking about there with Nosh. They have this early bird bagel. They also have a smoked lox bagel that has smoked carrots, red onion, capers, scallion infused cream cheese on an everything bagel. So lox in parentheses. It's basically smoked carrots in lieu of the lox. But I mean, this place. I think you're looking at some of their protein pancakes there, Tim.
Yeah, chocolate chip protein pancakes.
Things do not have to be flavorless and unexciting to be healthy. I mean, you look at these bowls, whether and the salads and things like, and even these pancakes. I mean, they just they're like I said, bright, vibrant, fresh, colorful. You don't have to be bored to eat food that's good for you.
And I mean, they've been leading the way for a bit here now.
Absolutely, yeah. There's catering that they do. They're getting in heavy with the meal prep, choosing from over 50 chef prepared meals with quality ingredients. You can save on the cost of those with the subscription. I'm just checking out their website here with a lot of these reviews and things that people are submitting. Great and healthy tasting food that makes you feel good. Someone used them for a catered lunch event. Great responsiveness, prompt delivery. Someone ordered it for their workplace, raved about it. They label the wraps and salads so the team knows exactly what they're choosing from. Someone else did it for a bridal party before a wedding. Again, offices for catering. A lot of people have been participating in this meal prep. I love their branding. They have a really cool logo, and even just going into the store, very bright colors, always nice, clean, shiny, very helpful customer service oriented staff. This is kind of the model for what you want to do if you want to have a restaurant that's offering healthy food options. It says right on their site, eat healthy, live healthy. We believe that food can heal. When you eat better, you feel better. That's why we use food full of nourishing ingredients, vibrant flavors, and rich textures to create a culinary taste you will obsess over and will help you thrive on your wellness journey.
Yeah, and they'll do. You can have that's the thing. You can have a chicken Southwest soup. You can have a beef chili, and it's still healthy because you're still getting those proteins, you're still getting those beans, you're still getting, um they're throwing a lot of, uh, fr caloric friendly options in there, and then when you add in the gluten-free options with the toasts and, the donut bites, the Cinnabon, um, vegetarian options like the smoked lox bagel. Yeah, they've got a lot of things going on there. It's very impressive. 33 Office Park Road, Hilton Head Island, 686-5600. All the phone numbers we give here are 843, by the way. So 686-5600. And then Healthy Habit. What is it? Healthy Habit HHI. Now I feel stupid. I had it up on the screen. Yes, healthyhabithhi.com. So, do you have any one favorite when you head out there?
For me, it's usually like it would be like a lunchtime move for me. So I would say I stick pretty much to the wraps because it's one of those things that you're doing when you're on the fly. At
Yep.
least for me. Um, don't get me wrong. I love a good acai bowl. We're going to talk about those in a few as well. But I've never been much of a hot bowl guy. So I would say, for me, it's going to be the wraps, whether it's, breakfast or lunch. They do a couple of burritos, and in addition to those bagel sandwiches. And I really like, a nice, iced beverage. I think I had the banana peanut butter with organic frozen whipped protein, espresso, organic pasture raised grass milk, um, natural peanut butter and banana served over ice. I really like the drinks and
Oh
you know
yeah,
the
the
smoothies
elixirs and the
are my
smoothers,
favorite.
smoothies,
Yeah,
bundled drinks. Really well done. We just got a trio of them up on the screen right now, but they have so many options.
all really good stuff and good for you.
All right, sir. Where are we going next on the list?
Let's head back over into Bluffton, which is really very similar in terms of concept from the family of restaurants brought to us by one of Bluffton's most well-known chefs, Leslie Rowland, who owns the Cottage Cafe, which we talked about during I want to say it was probably our breakfast and brunch episode.
Yes, sir.
The Bluffton Pasta Shop, and then of course the Juice Hive and May River Coffee Roasters. So we're going into the Juice Hive here in Bluffton Village, and again, one of those type of things. Maybe I'm getting my hair cut. Maybe I just find my way over there. I'm stopping at the post office or whatnot. I've met, a referral partner or two for lunch there. Um, I think really where they shine is the smoothies. Um, I've definitely had a couple of these before. Um, the Monkey Bee is very similar to what I just mentioned: peanut butter, banana, cacao nib, almond milk, chocolate protein powder. Um, I've tried a couple of these. I've also done a poke bowl or two, and they have zoodles as well, which are zucchini noodles. There's a couple of bowls that offer that type of option too. So, again, very similar smoothies, juices, breakfast sandwich, egg, turkey, bacon, parmesan. Um, they got a couple more options, I would say, for breakfast wraps than Healthy Habit does. And, you know, the categories break down very similar into what types of options that they have.
Yeah, breakfast till 11, lunch until 2:30. Um, they've got some burger options, some like you said, the zoodles, Buddha bowl, poke bowl, the wraps, and a whole menu of different smoothies to choose from. Um, the juice cleanses are top notch in terms of just the taste and the overall feeling. Um, no yucky residue sort of things, when you're drinking. Big fan of what Leslie's doing at the Juice Hive for sure. And by the way, that's at 14 Johnston Way in Bluffton, 757-2899 if you want to check out the Juice Hive.
They got the Emporium too, where they basically bring together, a hand-picked collection of curated things of home decor and artisan foods, snacks. This is the section of the store that's over to the right where you can actually sit and enjoy your breakfast or lunch. And definitely check out. They got a lot of really nice, syrups and, I see a cobbler mix here, some DIY kits, sustainable foods and snacks. So, head over there, order your smoothie, your salad, your zoodles, your bowl, your wraps, whatever it is. While you wait for a couple of minutes, walk around the Emporium. They got a lot of cool stuff there, and like I said, a couple tables if you want to sit there and dine in. This is Juice Hive and Health Emporium.
A lot of different things going on there at the Juice Hive. Like Nick said, check it out at thejuicehive.com to get the full menu and see what you want to give a go. We've given some suggestions, but so many options there. I'm a big fan of both the juices, the cleanses. Um, they just again, you want a palpable taste. You want it to feel healthy, but you want it to kind of hit your taste buds the right way. And the Juice Hive nails that for sure.
They do a really good job.
All right, where are you going next, my friend?
So we got a lot of feedback when we did breakfast and brunch that we were missing a glaring option in Hilton Head, and that was by design because we saved it for this category.
Yep, we were like,
Watusi
whoa, whoa,
Cafe.
whoa, whoa.
Right, exactly. As they say on their site, it is what it is. Watusi Cafe down on Pope Avenue, that little section there where you have like the New York City pizza and Plantation Cafe and, a little right before that, actually. Um, I have enjoyed Watusi Cafe many occasions. Not so much, although I have had breakfast there and really enjoyed it. I definitely went with, one of the classics, whether it was a Benedict or, one of their scramblers or breakfast sandwiches. Um, I've had more often. I've had lunch there, and pretty much top to bottom, it's just very wholesome, fresh ingredients. They have some really strong salads and bowls as well. Signature sandwiches. They give them to you with corn chips and pimento cheese, kettle chips, or citrus grain salad. What stands out to me is just it's no frills in a good way. I always use the phrase like all killer, no filler. Like these are really like healthy ingredients, but prepared in a way where, the focus is on those cold, fresh, bright colored fruits and vegetables and meats and things like that. I just the presentation more than anything else, and they have a whole coffee bar and a marketplace there as well, seating indoor and outdoor. Coffee and specialty drinks. They also do cocktails and spirits. But what really stands out to me is just the most aesthetically pleasing and flavorful, health conscious, freshly prepared foods.
And again, a spot that really points out that you can you can have fresh, healthy ingredients, uh, and it can still be delicious, almost to the point where you're like, "Hmm, this is healthy, huh?" But yeah, I mean, between their salad options, the bowls, um, you know, as I got gastric sleeve surgery in October 2024, and I've definitely, as I went from kind of a liquid diet at the beginning to adding in more options. Watusi's been one of those go-to places for me out on the island because I always know that I can, whether it's the fruit and granola bowl or a tuna bowl, um, or if I want to get some calories in that day and have the southern style southern style Benedict with the beef brisket and the um it's that's I mean, that is to die for. If I could tell you one of my favorites there, that would be it. I mean, I do like the she crab soup there. I'm not a huge she crab soup. I would not put myself in the category of a, connoisseur there as I am with chili, but, I have had enough of them to know which ones I like better than others, and, the she crab soup there is delicious.
And you can get, a breakfast sandwich on a English muffin. You can get biscuits and sausage gravy. I'm looking at this cowboy casserole with egg, ham, sausage, bacon, cubed bread, and cheddar with jalapeno cheese sauce. So there are some, slightly more indulgent things on this menu. But honestly, the best things that I've had there have been like a chopped Cobb salad I had was really good. I've done they're Italian with Genoa salami, capicola, ham, provolone, banana peppers, lettuce, tomato, onion, oregano, and balsamic vinaigrette on a toasted French baguette. That was really strong. So, the options range from, your standard, Asian salad or grilled shrimp salad, and then get, quite a bit more creative. I think the creativity probably shows itself a little bit more on the breakfast menu with the scrambles and the hashes and benedicts and things like that. So it's a little bit more expansive, I would say, for breakfast. Probably the ideal spot for some brunch. I think that was a wrap that had grilled chicken. Might have been a chicken avocado wrap, or it might have been a special that they were doing that particular day. But really, really enjoyed that. Oh no, that was a grilled chicken, melted provolone, crisp applewood bacon, lettuce, tomato, and mayo. But I think I just chose to do it on a wrap. That's what's making me think like that might have been a special that particular day. But I really enjoyed it. Again, super fresh. You do not have to be boring when you're eating, healthy food. And I also really am just a big fan of like the overall vibe and the service. Friend of the show, Lisa Bernstein of the Purple Cow.
Bernie.
Yeah, and she's just always a big supporter of the food scene and a pretty amazing baker herself. So go over and check her and the rest of the crew at Watusi Cafe.
Really good stuff. What is this the, what was going here? Do you remember?
That was like it was a vegetable. I don't know if it was like a cream of like asparagus or something like that. It was one of those sort of like root vegetable type of bisques, I think, on that particular day. And it was really, really good. I'm not really a big fan of like broccoli cheddar and like creamy vegetable soups, but whatever this was that day, again, I think it might have been whatever the daily soup cup was, because it doesn't look like sheet crab to me. But it was
Okay.
savory, creamy, and again, just super like bursting with that fresh vegetable flavor.
71 Pope Avenue, Hilton Head, Island, 686-5200. Check them out. You will not be disappointed. So that is 3 down on the list. Or is that one or no, it's not. Let me get to the list here so
Yeah,
I
that's
can
true.
count again.
That's true.
Yeah, that's 3. Okay. What's
Yes,
next?
sir. Let's hop across the street to the shopping center where the old Bilo, the former location of Kenny B's, and also the location of Southern Coney and Breakfast. And what's the other restaurant that's over in there? Fiesta Fresh. Is that it? No, not
Mm,
Fiesta Fresh.
no,
What's the Mexican restaurant that's in that little section there?
I'm blanking myself.
It is Southern
Hold,
Coney.
please.
Then next to that, Amigos Cafe and Cantina. I
Yes.
apologize.
Yes.
Amigos, you got Hinchie's, Amigos, Southern Coney, and then of course all the way at the end. It's been there for quite a few years now. One of my favorites, brought to us by our good friend Al, Al's Aloha Kitchen, which is the destination for poke bowls and superfruit bowls. No disrespect to any others that offer them. I think Al's is the standard bearer when it comes to this stuff. You got that Hawaiian surfer sort of vibe. And whether you're looking for, a bowl that has, spicy ahi tuna poke, or just your standard ahi tuna, or sashimi salmon, or if you're looking for a superfruit bowl with acai sorbet, pitaya sorbet, which of course is dragon fruit, or a blend of the two. You can make your own. They have fresh pressed juices, shots. They have smoothies. My favorite thing is um, they have a loco moco with cold brew coffee that they make. Um, that's probably my favorite. It's got layered superfood, cocoa creamer, banana, chocolate chips, almond milk, and local honey. I am good for a poke bowl, a smoothie, and my really delectable treat that I really enjoy from Al's is a nice spam masubi. For those who aren't familiar, it's a big chunk of rice with a slice of spam on it. They do one
Spam,
with egg.
spam, spam.
Yes, yes. They do one with egg. They do one with jalapeno, and I think that's it. And so you get it. It's a little like sort of warmer case. You grab it out of there, and then you can get either a wasabi aioli or like a sriracha type of aioli, almost like a yummy sauce to dip it in. I love to just have a poke bowl from Al's with a little spam masubi on the side, and then a smoothie, to wash it all down. One of my absolute favorite places in all of Hilton Head.
What what makes it the standard bearer for you?
I just feel like the depth of options that you have. I mean, you can go with what they're presenting to you as like the three different options. But if you look at the board, like the menu board, it's overwhelming in terms of the number of options that you can get on, in your poke bowl. Uh, the seasonings, and the customization. Like sometimes if I can avoid, putting my poke bowl on top of rice, a lot of times I'll like to go with like a base of greens. They can do it that way. Um, they can, you know, same thing with the acai bowls and the pataya bowls. They can customize those. So I just love how you can pretty much have it any way that you want, and it's always, like I said, super fresh, colorful. I just like the overall vibe in there. Um, just as much. The music, the service, that sort of
Very inviting.
Hawaiian surf shop theme. Yes, and talk about marketing. I mean, what they do with that bright neon, like almost Seahawks lime green color, with the black, with their logo, with the pineapple. Um, it's it's a cool spot, and I really enjoy that. That's a really special treat to be able to enjoy, specifically a poke bowl for lunch, and a great thing to pick up and take to the beach. I've done that with my family, where we took a whole order of poke bowls, and sat on the beach and enjoyed them.
The we thought we were getting one in Bluffton, and
Yes,
it just didn't work out. And but you know, sometimes the things happen for a reason, and the original is still where it's at, 70 Pope Avenue, Hilton Head Island, 3844444. Hopefully we can get them over the bridge at some point when it is the right spot for them. But until then, yeah, it's whether it's nice and local for you or a trip over the bridge, no matter the length of the trip, it's worth it. It's such a incredible vibe. Um, just the ohana is the word I was looking for. They go in there and you're instantly part of the ohana, and they just celebrated National Acai Day, so which was my birthday, April 6th. I actually did go out there that day, and it was a fantastic ending to birthday blah, blah, number deleted from the broadcast, but a good
exactly.
birthday, absolutely,
In
absolutely.
July, they'll be celebrating their 7-year anniversary.
Which isn't that insane?
Yeah,
It's
Alex and
like
Tori.
just it's going by so fast, but it's a testament to them also in that uh this place feels as fresh as ever. Like you saying that, I get it, but it feels new. Every time I go in there, it feels like like a new spot. They just have that energy that has not waned one bit over these 7 years. So
They keep it
definitely,
fresh, man. Literally and figuratively, they keep it fresh.
absolutely. So check them out on Pope Avenue as well. Where are we going next, sir?
Let's head um, back towards the Cross Island. We'll go to 32 Palmetto Bay Road and Delicio. Fresh food fast. Now,
Fresh,
Delicio,
delicious. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm not, listen, I don't have a lot of experience with this particular location, but I was really surprised with sort of the setting, like the character of the spot, specifically of the location, and very similar menu as far as what we've been talking about with Healthy Habit and the Juice Hive: salads, bowls, wraps, smoothies, juices. What do you think, Tim, stands out about Delicio compared to some of these other options that we've thrown out there today?
It's just exclusively vegetarian, but at the same time, it just doesn't, again, it doesn't hit you over the head with it. The options are just so plentiful, and the whether whether you're getting a salad, you're getting a bowl, you're getting a wrap, you're getting a juice cleanse. um yeah, uh, it says it, fresh food fast, but I mean the freshness, again, another spot where the vibe is just off the charts, in terms of just like you get in there, you don't want to leave.
They go really deep with the juices. They have an entire section of their website dedicated to juice cleanses. 3 days, 9 flavors, 18 bottles, three legacy juices, three nut milks, three heritage juices. And again, they have an entire. Go check out their website. They're going to basically give you a complete description of what all of these legacy juices are, what the nut milks are, how they help you, and then of course the heritage juices. They go into a lot of detail about those too, with specific instructions and an optimized schedule. Um, Again, juice cleanses, juices, not particularly my thing. I'm not going to profess to be a juice guy, but if you're into that type of thing, I think this is where you want to be. I could easily see myself doing any of these smoothies. What jumps out to me is the dancing mango, which does a mango with pumpkin seeds, cacao, frozen yogurt, and a chocolate drizzle. Um, Not too many people think of mango as a good inclusion when you're or mango and chocolate as a good combination. But I will tell you this: about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, I was throwing together a smoothie myself in the afternoon for some sustenance, and I had frozen mango. I had some pineapple frozen as well. And I didn't have a banana. I didn't want to use one of our fresh bananas. Sometimes we'll have some frozen banana, when it starts to, when they start going on the way out. So I threw in some of those true fruit, dark chocolate, peanut butter, banana slices. I threw that in the smoothie. And I can tell you, chocolate and mango and pineapple. It's no different than when you go into one of those, melting pot places and you have a chocolate fountain and you get some pineapple and some mango and stuff like that to dip it in. I may have to make a special trip to Delicio this week just to check out that dancing mango. Really, some exciting, interesting looking options on every aspect of this menu.
Yeah, I mean, and again, exclusively vegetarian, the juice cleanse, um, they like Nick said, they walk you through it. They make it, approachable. When a lot of people will think of juice cleanse, um, it can feel like a lot. It can feel like, "Well, where do I get started with this?" They lay it out for you. They lay out the whole thing. They why this today? Why this today? Why this the next day? Um, Very well done. Um, 32 Palmetto Road, Hilton Head, 785-3633. Delici Delicio.com on the web. Um, Had to be on this list. Had to be on
And
this
open
list.
7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6, and Sunday 10 to 2. That's not a thing that you see that often with these types of stores.
Absolutely. You've, I mean, to me, you've nailed this so far. Um, One last one that you wanted to get on here. Where are we going for that?
Yes, and this is another one that people have messaged us on a couple of the previous episodes that they felt like should have been included. Again, another one that I wanted to kind of hold off until this particular episode, and this is Jane Bistro and Bar, also on Hilton Head Island. Lunch, dinner, Sunday brunch. I put this in the category that we're talking about this week, just because, you know, even though this is a bistro and bar concept, I think there's a lot of effort made towards good for you ingredients. You know, starting with, you know, share plates of fried green tomatoes where they use goat cheese, ricotta, mozzarella. I've had the garlic shrimp appetizer. Um, I've heard that the Thai chicken wings are good. I haven't tried those yet. They got a couple of flatbreads. They got
I have
hummus.
tried the Thai chicken wings, my friend.
Yeah,
You are correct, sir, as they say. Oh
sweet chili
my.
sesame glaze with cucumber jalapeno salad.
Yep. Nailed it.
That looks delicious. Yeah. The last time I was there, I was with my friend. This is a while back. I was with my friend Taylor Boatman from Daniel Ravenel Sotheby's Real Estate, and I went with the Cuban sandwich, the Southern Cuban smoked pork. That's the shrimp appetizer I was telling you about. I went with the Southern Cuban smoked pork, Swiss bacon, pickles, mustard, crispy onions on a hoagie. That was actually the bacon wrapped meatloaf, which is excellent. Um, I always kind of chuckle because we went there for dinner one night and they couldn't serve the meatloaf because they didn't have any more of the bacon left to wrap it with. And I thought about it, I was like, really? Like, can't someone just run to the store and get some? But listen, I don't have a problem with if there's an ingredient that makes a dish what it is and you don't have that particular ingredient, you know, they don't have a number of options for, you know, 8 options for the main plates. That beef stroganoff looks absolutely delicious. I got to give that a whirl. And that was that's a pasta dish. I think that's the seafood pasta, which was just decadent. But listen, if you don't have an ingredient that makes the dish complete, then I don't have an issue with keeping it off there. I think that might be the Tuscan chicken pasta. I believe that was a time when I was there for dinner with my wife and my mother on one of these weekends that we were there. Again, there's the Cuban. I thought it was excellent. I love the fries. They're kind of like almost like a shoestring type of fry. I think the day that we were there for lunch, I believe Taylor went with one of the salads. I think it was. I'm not 100% sure. I think it might have been cranberry chicken salad or the orchard salad. But either way, plenty of fresh options for salads and sandwiches on that lunch menu. Dinner menu, they got some fish options. They got again a couple pastas. They got a bone-in rosemary pork chop, the meatloaf, of course, that I spoke about, crispy flounder, and a smash burger that seems pretty interesting with cheddar cheese, grilled chopped onions, mixed lettuce, mayo, and mustard. So I love the outdoor dining area there. I love the bright white, clean, you know, bar and dining room area. This is one of the anchor spots at that Shelter Cove Town Center. And of course, same owners as Wren over in Beaufort, for those of you who are familiar with Wren, WREN.
28 Shelter Cove Lane, Suite 109 on Hilton Head, Shelter Cove Plaza, Marina. 686-5686. JaneHHI.com. Very simple on the website.
And check out their brunch menu as well. You know, they got the lunchy stuff that they got on these other menus, on the regular lunch menu, but I'm really interested in some of these chef's plat du jour on the brunch menu, the low country breakfast with local shrimp, creamy parmesan, and bacon over a grit cake. They got baked blueberry French toast, and really interested in these carnitas breakfast flautas. That sounds like it's right up my alley. I'm big on flautas. They do a shrimp and lobster and shrimp avocado toast, a couple different omelets, chicken and biscuits, a
I
breakfast
had the
quesadilla.
I
Some
had the
really good
baked
options there.
blueberry French toast.
Yeah,
Um,
as good as it looks.
just insane. Just, I
Streusel
mean,
topping, huh?
what'd you say?
Streusel topping with creme
Yes.
anglaise.
Oh my goodness. It just like died and gone to heaven sort of brunch where I was just like, Where did this come from, and why does this meal have to end?"
That sounds incredible. And if
Yeah,
you go for brunch, bottomless mimosas for $14. That's pretty cool.
very nice. Well, that's the main list, but I mean, we got more to talk about.
Yes.
A few more to talk about. In the let's call it the hot potato. One of Nick's earlier uh delvings into AI, but still well done. Well done.
That was a
So,
one-shot deal on that one. I didn't even put much instruction in there.
yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it. Uh so I thought we were going to mention this a couple weeks ago cuz I was just like, "Dang, this sounds outstanding." Um because I'm looking for meal plans, and I'm looking for those sort of quick meal prep options. Um how'd you come upon strong box meals?
So we have a friend named Tamara who's also from New Jersey, and her we actually that's who fostered was fostering Ronan. So thanks to her, we were able to, add the newest, most recent addition to our family, who's still sitting here, all curled up, sleeping right in front of me. So Tamara's partner Kyle is a veteran who is big into training, weightlifting, physical fitness, etc. So Kyle has created the veteran owned and operated Strongbox Meals, which is a meal prep service in Bluffton and Hilton Head. The tagline is "It's time to feed." And I will say this for those of you who are into meal prep, this is as good of an option as you're going to find, not just for regular meals, but he also has an entire category of bulk protein meals where you can essentially just purchase, the protein in bulk: grilled chicken, ground turkey, turkey meatballs, ground bison, flank steak, and shrimp. I am constantly blown away, and this is another entity that does a really good job with their socials. He is very regular with when he has something that he's created that's new. Like at the end of March, it was a steak teriyaki bowl with grilled sirloin, teriyaki sauce, stir fry vegetables over jasmine rice. He does fish taco bowls, chicken bruschetta pasta, slow cooker turkey chili, shepherd's pie. I don't want to go through everything because it's just amazing how he's constantly mixing it up: chicken enchilada bowl, sesame shrimp noodles, kickin' chicken meatballs, bolognese, sirloin bites. I could go on and on and on. Shrimp scampi, skinny shrimp scampi calls it, steak and frites, shredded beef burrito bowl. This guy knows how to cook, and what an operation where he goes out and gets all the ingredients to create these things homemade, boxes them up in these great to go containers. And I think the pricing is pretty impressive as well.
It
I
is,
mean,
absolutely, and you've got a fit option, a little less of a meal, and then you have the Hulk option, which is, you know, extra protein, XL on everything. Um, the current meal menu has the bison shepherd's pie, the kickin' chicken meatballs that you mentioned, the miso glazed salmon, shrimp fajita bowl, and chicken fajita bowl. Again, like you said, all available as uh as fit options for $15. Um 39 grams of for instance, the bison shepherd's pie. The fit options 39 grams of carbs, 31 grams of protein, whereas the Hulk option for just $3 more is 56 carbs, 44 protein. So, um, yeah, very affordable in terms of the bang that you're getting for the meals. So, I'm was really excited when you brought this to my attention, and it's one of these things I definitely, when I get back, I'm gonna be checking out.
The meal prep serves many masters, right? It allows for convenience, saves you time, makes sure that you're eating what you're supposed to be eating for whatever diet or whatever program that you are currently involved in. So I would say, to compare this to one of the things that we see a lot available nationally is like Factor. So this is going to be like Factor in terms of you're just going to reheat this stuff, but I mean this is on another level in terms of the quality. It's essentially gourmet meal prep meals. I mean, if Kyle wanted to, he could create a whole catering situation with these things if he wanted to go in that direction because that's how high quality these are. These are as good as any catering entities ready to eat meals.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of I had there's a spot over, and it's a chain. It's called Clean Eats, and it's over in Pooler.
Yep.
Um, it's this reminds me a lot of that. Um, but they go, Strongbox goes even harder on the protein, which I really like. Um, but I could, Clean Eats is a brick and mortar spot over on Godley Station Boulevard in Pooler. I could definitely see um see something like Strongbox taking off and becoming a you know uh grab and go sort of spot in a brick and mortar situation too. So really excited for this option and thrilled to see where he goes with it next.
Yeah, Kyle's a great guy, and I'm always proud and happy to support veteran-owned businesses.
So we wanted to mention a couple of options. Um, don't want to call them honorable mention, but just a couple other options. Uh, when we're talking healthy, um, let's go back out to the island to start, and then we finish closer to home. Um, the G Free spot. Um, they again gluten-free options that you wouldn't even know uh when you're eating. You wouldn't even think that this was gluten-free food. Um they've really nailed it. They're over in Main Street Village, 1511 Main Street, Suite 1511. Um 802-4411, right on the corner of the main street. And they have it's really, I'm not gonna say it's a bakery, but I mean their baked goods are outstanding. I mean, but they've got breakfast and lunch options. I mean, look at that breakfast sandwich, that bacon, egg, and cheese,
Robust.
the sausage, egg, and cheese. Um, the I thought what you call it, yeah, some of the baked goods. These are blueberry scones. Some These are danishes technically, but I mean, look at
Like
that. It's
cheesecake bars. I'm
yeah,
looking
like
at the
cheese.
lunch menu. They have on Fridays and Saturdays. They have Stromboli pizza rolls. That's
Yep,
crazy.
and
Pepperoni pizza rolls and pizza dough that they can sell you to make a 14-inch pizza. or if you want to make garlic knots, also available on Friday and Saturday. These
And this right
sandwiches
here,
look
Nick,
great.
this right here is gluten-free.
That's incredible.
That's the Strata.
Wow. Um, Heidi Gardner posted the strata from Palmetto Bay Sunrise Cafe, and that had me drooling over
Yeah.
the weekend.
Yeah, same here, and that's why when I saw their take on it, I was like, "Ooh, that looks that looks just as delicious." My goodness, all gluten free, thusly the G free spot. Um, Cheeky name, kind of like it. Kind of like those cinnamon rolls too. Uh, you're like, am I eating healthy? Huh? These are gluten free pizza rolls as well. Um,
Tim, you know what's
So
cool?
many delicious options there.
I don't remember which restaurant we were talking about, whether it was last week or the week before, but I just noticed that the G Free spot posts their specials on their website, which I love. So
Yes.
this week, Thursday, the breakfast strata that you showed us,
Yep.
and then Friday, they have their cinnamon rolls, their pizza rolls, and same thing with Saturday. So that's cool that they go on here and they show you what kind of stuff that you can get with the weeks that are coming up. I'm very intrigued by both of those cinnamon rolls and those pizza rolls with mozzarella marinara and a spicy pepperoni. That's
No,
good stuff.
Nicole Gardner has worked her tail off to build this business and was really kind of I won't say a pioneer, but she's really pushing healthy eating and gluten free. That you can have a gluten free bakery and that it can be just as delicious and without the gluten. It's and she's another one of those mad scientists. She's always working on new options, whether it's a cupcakes or brownie cheesecake or and like you said, she's very good on social. She's always posting the specials and um yeah, I can't say enough good things about the G Free spot. Please check them out. 1511 Main Street on Hilton Head in the Main Street Village Plaza. And then the other one that we wanted to get in here is there's a new spot in Bluffton on May River Road that it's we were talking about the La Barria Loca and what they've done to upgrade. Well, they've built a block of businesses right next to it, and one of the sneaky spots there is May River Nutrition, 1195 May River Road, 707-1505. Uh, they've got, and again, a lot of the same options, your juices, this is their mango protein bowl. Um, they've got crepes. They've got healthy donuts. Just a lot of different things going on. Whether it's the smoothies, this is their spring menu. Um, Strawberry banana smoothie, blueberry muffin, lemon pound cake. Uh, which I actually tried the lemon pound cake because I'm just always curious, and that was outstanding.
Some good stuff. I'm always curious about that place when I pass by. I'm always like kind of like looking in the
Yeah,
window.
yeah, because they're constantly. I always love a place that's constantly trying to draw in traffic. They always got stuff on the signs out front and very very active window in terms of letting folks know what's new and exciting. It's a newer business. It's not uh in a spot where it's a little bit farther down. Again, it's right next to where La Burria Loca is, the food truck. I believe there's like a hair salon in there as well and a couple other things, but uh check them out. Check them out. They're doing some interesting stuff. Um the smoothie, the lemon pound cake smoothie I had was outstanding. Um, Now I know, of course, we're gonna have those folks that will tend to do this. They will hit us up and say, "We need some help on the spelling." And yes, we all do. So, thank you for noticing.
Honestly, more than that, I just wish they would tell me when they post one of the shakes what it is. That's definitely very helpful because they're very colorful and they look very nice. But some of these, it's just they post the drink and they don't say specifically what it is. If it's not in the graphic, there's not a caption to accompany it.
Yeah, and they're just getting off the ground, and they need to get a website built, and
Yep.
but this is definitely one of more of an in-person experience at the moment, whereas we talk
Yeah.
about some of these other spots that are doing really good stuff online. This is definitely if you're downtown for the farmers market and want to get some steps in after hitting the market, just wander down May River Road a little bit, and you'll hit up May River Nutrition. And always want to support the new businesses. They're newer. They're a few months in, but really a lot of interesting options. So I would say definitely check them out. All right, my friend, that's a
We
wrap.
did it.
We did it again, somehow, some way. Um, Good stuff as always. Again, if we didn't hit a spot that y'all feel should be on this list, hit us up. DM Nick or me, and we'll definitely hit it. We are not looking to exclude folks. That's for sure. We are here to advocate and to promote all of the incredible things going on in the foodie community around the Low Country. So, um, next week, the grand finale for season 1. We got to start talking show topics for season 2. That I think they're gonna flow when we actually sit down and start pounding it out. But I'm excited. Big things ahead. Uh, Go ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-boggling that we're already, a season into this. So we're definitely gonna mix it up as we go into season two. We'll get more specific on some things. I don't think we're gonna do like a category of restaurant with each episode. But as Tim always says, with the lists being fluid, these ideas and concepts for shows sometimes there's, it seems like there's a method to my madness, but sometimes things just kind of come up on the fly that I want to talk about and then I want to address. We also are looking for as much engagement as we possibly can from our viewers, from our listeners, because if there's something that they want us to talk about, that they want to hear about, we're all ears for that because we wouldn't be here without you guys watching and listening to the show. I do want to say that today, as we record this on April 21st, 2 months from today, on Saturday, June 21st, is, I believe I mentioned this on a previous episode, For the Love of Summer. This is an event that's being sponsored and hosted by the Love Group of the Low Country Love Group of Realty One Group Low Country in Bluffton. There is going to be a number of food trucks that I will get to in a minute, in addition to live music, free ice cream for the kids, bounce houses, plural, and they're going to have an animal shelter there as well for pet adoptions. If you are into the food aspect of things, I can tell you that we have a pretty impressive roster of food trucks, which at the moment include Taqueria Lopez, The Coffee Lab, Ocon, Food Savvy, Fly Pies, Mother Smokin' Good, Auntie's Lemonade, Authentic Bites, Fresh Off the Dock, and then we got Miss Katie's Sweets and Pat Wants Hilton Head as a vendor as well for this event. So stay tuned for more on the For the Love of Summer event on June 21st, 2025.
Save the date, as they say.
That's it.
Very exciting. Want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Anthony Mascolo, Anthony and cohomes.com, part of the Keller Williams Low Country family. Also want to give a shout out to AMA Private Dining, Antonio Mancini Albano. Book Antonio now at amaprivatedining.com, 908-477-6043. And then a shout out to Scott and Jennifer at Lulu Kitchen Restaurant and Bar. Still hiring, as Nick said. Looking for the best and brightest to showcase their new spring menu. For menus and to reserve online, lulukitchen-hhi.com, 890 William Hilton Parkway, Suite 1, 843-648-5858. You want to hear us? You don't want to watch us? You just want to listen to us? You can do that. Spotify, iHeart, Podbean, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your favorite podcasts, you will find The Indulgent Islander. Let us see here. Oh, the YouTube. Got to get to the YouTube. Watch us on your phones, your tablets, your TV. Just hit The Indulgent Islander at youtube.com. And as they say, pound the subscribe button, pound the like button, and watch us every week there on the Indulgent Islander YouTube channel. Parting words, my friend.
Really excited for the finale for season 1. Really, really excited for what's to come in season 2. Keep the feedback coming with the comments and suggestions, recommendations. Feel free to message us directly, myself or Tim individually. Nick D. Simone, Tim Wood on Facebook. You can also reach us at Instagram or Facebook in The Indulgent Islander, Eat HHI on Instagram, at Lowcron for Tim, at Low Country Chronicle, or The Low Country Chronicle on Facebook. Thank you, everyone, very much for your continued support. I got a snoozing cat here in my arms that I'm going to bring downstairs. Hopefully I won't disrupt him too bad. And stay tuned for, like Tim said, episode 15, where we're going to talk about steakhouses.
You know, plenty of protein at the steakhouses. So,
right?
In my mind, we're just continuing the healthy eating discussion next week. So
that's it. Nice red meat and potatoes.
Until then, everyone, again, huge thanks to the listeners, to the viewers. What do you want to say, Nick?
Stay hungry, my friends. See you next week.